Hey, what's going on, fam? So coming to y'all with another quick video. So for those of you who don't know, which most of you should know, um, basically what's going on in China right now is the Chinese people are showing their virulent racism against the Africans and black people that live in China. And those of you who have listened to my videos, you'll know I've mentioned this in the past that Asian people are very racist. As a matter of fact, I mentioned it in my last video that Asian people are very racist and that many of the black people who live in China will tell you that they're openly called racial slurs to their face. There's a very open culture of anti-black racism in the country of China among the common people. And I'm bringing this up again because, as you guys know, when this whole coronavirus thing first started popping off, there was a bunch of propaganda about how, oh, racism against Asians is so terrible and we need to stand up against the xenophobia and we can't call it the China virus and everybody needs to go out of their way to support Asian businesses because of the racism that's coming from the evil Republicans and Trump and racists towards the Chinese people over a false racist xenophobic claim that the virus is, by calling it the China virus, which it is the China virus because it came from China. That's number one. And number two, I don't care about any racist implications or effects it may have from calling it the China virus because, as you can see, as I said in my last video, and as you can see with these, and I'm going to put some links in the description box, um, several articles backing up everything that I've said so you can just research. And even the links I provide are just a sample. If you do your own research, you can find many more incidents than what I post of Asian anti-black racism. So black people are the most hated people on the planet, in America and on the planet. And we experience the worst racism on a daily basis. But nobody has this campaign of outrage about the racism we experience on a regular. We have to riot in the streets to get the level of attention that Asians did for experiencing racism, a fraction of the racism we experience on a regular basis. We have to have Black Lives Matter movements and we have to shut down cities and burn down buildings before the media will acknowledge that we experience racism. We have to be killed unjustly multiple times over and over and over by police officers or race soldiers posing as police officers before cops or before the dominant society will acknowledge, the Democrats, whoever you want to say, will acknowledge that we experience racism. Yet these Asians, somebody says it's the China virus and a few Asian businesses lose some sales. And all of a sudden, the world is falling and racism is so terrible. But nobody speaks out against the racism that's happening in China. First of all, and I'm going to put links in the description box, as I've already said, because I've known for years that there's an open culture of anti-black racism in China. But what they're doing now is, even though they originated the coronavirus because they're nasty and they eat bats and shit, or they engineered it in a lab, which is also evidence starting to come out that the Chinese people did engineer it in a lab. Now they're starting to blame the Africans and black people in their country for the fact that they had coronavirus because they're so naturally racist and so ingrained racist. So what they're doing is they're evicting black people and Africans from their apartments, from hotels and apartments that they paid for, and most of the time not giving them refunds, just evicting them. Africans are just roaming, as we speak, as I'm making this video. Africans are just roaming the streets with nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Not because they can't pay, but because they're being accused of being the source of the coronavirus, and now they are being evicted from their homes and apartments and their and hotels that they were staying in. They can't even go and get something to eat. I'm going to put a link in the description box about how they're putting signs up at McDonald's in China that black people are not allowed to eat here. And they're trying to, and it's so offensive because they're being so openly racist, yet they're trying to put it as politically correct. We apologize for any inconvenience. This is government regulation or something, but it's obviously racist. Yet, when when we call it the China virus here in America, or when some people call it the China virus, oh, it's the biggest racist thing ever. That's why I said in my last video, black people should be calling it the China virus. I'm never going to refer to that virus as, the same name as the famous beer. I'm going to call it the China virus. And you see how even then, when I refer to it, that's how, if I'm going to talk about its official name, I'm going to say the same name as the beer. I'm not even going to call it that virus anymore. It's the China virus. Because this is outrageous. And also, fam, I want y'all to think about something else. Think about who was telling you that it was so horrible to call it the China virus. Think of who was raising the most hell when Trump put a travel ban on China and was calling it xenophobic. The Democrats. This is why, and on a side note, I don't want to get too much off topic, but on a side note, this is why I say the Democrats are so dangerous. Because they cater to us and tell us that they're the party for us and that the Republicans and especially Trump are just so horrible for us. And again, I'm not saying that Trump or the Republicans are the option for us. I'm not saying that we should support them or that they're all of a sudden that they care about black people. They don't. It's obvious that they're racist to anybody who wants to be honest with themselves. But the fact that the Democrats go so hard to pretend that they are our friends, yet they do nothing for us. You had these Democrat attorney generals like that black woman, I can't even remember her name, Letitia something, in New York, establishing that Asian American hotline. When have we ever had a black foundational black American hotline for anti-black racism that we've experienced? Yet Asians, Trump gets up there and calls China virus, and we got hotlines and we got people like AOC and these other senators saying Asian Americans and illegal immigrants should get reparations over the coronavirus. Yet the historical racism from Jim Crow to slavery to mass incarceration, we have 150 years of that, and we can't. And it's an argument about whether or not we deserve reparations. Chinese people experience racism for 1 week, and we got Democrat politicians wanting to give them reparations for the coronavirus. The Democratic Party is inherently more dangerous to us than the Republican Party. Look, this is a bad situation either way. It's like asking you, do you either want to be locked in a cage with a pit bull or locked in a cage with a lion? Neither are a favorable choice, but you have a better choice of fighting off the pit bull than you do the lion. You have a better chance of overpowering the pit bull and defeating the pit bull than you do the fucking lion. So if you have to choose, it's probably better to choose to be locked into a cage with the damn pit bull. Neither are favorable. Obviously, the most preferable choice is to be locked in a cage with neither. But if you must choose, it's better to be locked in the cage with the damn pit bull. And that's why I keep saying don't vote. Because it is worse to be locked in the cage with the Democrats because they pretend to be our friend, yet they are far more dangerous to us because they do things showing that they are able to work for us and intentionally don't. Because they do the things for Asians and illegal immigrants that they could be doing for us, but they refuse to. That's more dangerous. At least with the Republicans, we know we're not going to get anything from them. But the Democrats, they keep misleading us so we can keep falling apart and so that we can hit 2053 or whatever that date is. I forget the date is when we're going to have median zero wealth. African Americans are. The Democrats are of an enormous danger to black society. And you can just see it in this Chinese virus response. And their liberal agents, these Angela Rees, these Democrat media agents who had black people who help encourage this mindset among black people to be these black and brown coalition caping for everybody who experiences racism. Look up the people. Look on Twitter. Do your own research. Look up some of the people who were crying about the racism that Asians were experiencing. Angela Ree, Ocasio-Cortez, Joe Biden. These political and media figures who are puppets of the Democratic Party. The same people who try to tell you that Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or any of these Democrats are a better option for you than Donald Trump. When neither is a good option because one is a pit bull, one is a lion. And they're both vicious and feral. Whatever you want to say, they're rabid. So neither of them are nice. Neither of them are friendly to you. This is not a friendly lion and this is not a friendly pit bull. But the Democrats are the lion in this case because they go out, they do so much intentional manipulation. At least the Republicans let you know what it is from the start. The Democrats do all of this campaign of manipulation. And just to remind y'all, fam, I'm going to put a couple of articles in the links to the description box because it's not just what the Asians are doing in China right now that shows their racism. We can look at how they responded to the LeBron James situation because LeBron James said Daryl Morey was uneducated about the Chinese situation. And I understand how that can make people mad. I understand how that can upset people. I can even understand how, because, and if those of you who don't know, just a quick backstory. LeBron James last year, um, NBA general manager Daryl Morey said that he was supporting Hong Kong, who was having a dispute with China over their freedom or sovereignty or whatever. And that got the NBA into trouble with China because they do a lot of business with China. China is their biggest fan base, even bigger than America. And so that was going to potentially cost the NBA a lot of money. So it was a big controversy to kind of shut up about criticizing the Chinese government. And of course, there was on the other side, America was kind of pressuring the NBA to support free speech and keep speaking out against the Chinese government. And when LeBron was pressured because not only does the NBA as a organization have a lot of money invested with the Chinese, LeBron James and a lot of other individual NBA players, but especially LeBron James, has a lot of money tied up with China because they're such huge NBA fans. So when LeBron was asked about the Chinese controversy, he said, and asked about what the Rockets general manager said that got the whole controversy started, he said, hey, look, I don't believe that guy was informed or educated the way he should have been. Which, to me is fine to say because, like I said, LeBron doesn't owe the Chinese people anything because of how racist they are. That's my main reason for saying it, but I can understand how you could have a problem with it possibly because you could see, okay, maybe he's kind of low-key caping for the Chinese government or whatever. But it still doesn't elicit a racist reaction because the whole reason why you're mad at LeBron is because you believe the Chinese government is corrupt. So if the Chinese government was never corrupt, there would be no reason to be mad at LeBron James, nor would there ever be a controversy. But because the Chinese government is so-called corrupt, that's why you're mad at LeBron James for low-key supporting the Chinese government by saying that Daryl Morey was uneducated or misinformed when he spoke out against the Chinese government. Because the Chinese government is ran by Chinese people, not black people. So how is LeBron supporting the Chinese government have anything to do with race? Yet, when you go online, and that's what I'm going to put these screenshots up in the video too. Yet, when you go online, or when you went online at that time in Chinese forums, all you saw was racism against LeBron James. As a matter of fact, let's read some of the stuff that Asian people said about LeBron James just because he said Daryl Morey was uneducated. He didn't say anything racist about Asian people. He just said Daryl Morey was uneducated. LeBron James, black man serving as a slave, garbage, N-word. Lowly, weak races are truly like this. And I'm just reading some of it, not all of it. No wonder after dribbling balls, NBA N-words would get their money scammed easily after retirement. Stupid scums. Go to hell, N-word slave. F your mom, dead, N-word, you are not educated. Don't have a effing brain. The black man has grass in his head. That's a monkey reference. The black man has grass in his head. Talk about wisdom with orangutans. It's normal to have this answer. This is what black people are like. The best Obama is just as stupid. Black people's IQ are generally low. So y'all get the picture. That's Asian people responding to LeBron James, who said nothing racist about Asian people. He didn't say anything about Asian people. He was asked about a white man, Daryl Morey, and he said the white man was uneducated, and that's the response he got from Asian people. I'm also going to post other links in the description box of Asians being racist. I'm going to post a link to um, the Latasha Harlan situation. I'm going to post a link to where this Asian dude was trying to poison his black roommate because he was just a racist. I'm going to post the Peter Liang situation just to remind you about that and how racist they were being in that situation, an article about that. So then there's other cases that I'm not going to post links to, but you can easily find these Asian beauty stores, beauty supply owners beating up black women. Asians are racist. There are countless Asians that are in like the alt-right. Like I couldn't remember his name last video, but Ian Miles Cheong, he's that one who said, I'm a banana, I'm yellow on the outside, white on the inside. Asians are racist. Most non-black people who are also non-white are racist. As a majority, not every single individual, obviously, but as a majority, Asians are racist towards black people. Arabs are racist towards black people. Latinos are racist towards black people. Obviously, white people are racist towards black people. Yet we're imbued and embedded with this kumbaya mentality by none other than the dangerous ass Democrats, which is why we cannot vote for them. We cannot vote down ballot for them. We cannot vote for them at all. And notice something else that the Democrats keep telling black people. Make sure you got to go out and vote. You got to go out and vote. Staying at home is just stupid. They even telling Bernie supporters that. Because some Bernie supporters are mad because he's out the race. They're telling Bernie supporters, you got to go vote. It's so important to vote. So we have a corrupt Democrat Party. And their number one priority is for us to just go engage in the process. And guess who else been telling you that? The A-Dunce movement. I'm just saying. And I may make another video expounding on what I mean by that, but it's just food for thought. The dangerous ass pro-Chinese, pro-everyone but black people Democrats tell you must vote, and so does the A-Dunce movement. Why is it so important for both the Democrats to have you vote and the A-Dunce movement to have you vote? And what has both the Democrats and the A-Dunce movement told you? Oh, you can't vote for Trump. That's just the most horrible thing in the world. But anyway, fam, that's all I wanted to say. Food for thought. Do not fall for this. It's the China virus. End of story. But anyway, fam, or do not fall for the Democrat. It's xenophobic. It's racist propaganda. It's the China virus. But anyway, fam, like, share, subscribe. That's another video. Peace.